It seems like we just did this, right? This was in part 1. So when you're talking about a multiple choice test, you can do this one of two ways. You can either give the system and then the multiple choice is 4 different graphs, or you can give the graph and then give 4 different points. So I think it's that second way. So they'll give you the graph, and so you just really need to know, okay, what is the solution? Where am I finding it, right? So this one says it starts at 4 on the first equation, and you have a 3 over 2. You can't go up 3 and over 2, so you have to go down 3 and over 2. And it's probably one of these 2 intersection points right there. And then the other one starts at -3. It's got a -2 slope, so that's -2 over 1. And there it is right there. So remember when we started this year, some of you just didn't even know how to plot a point. So we've come really far, haven't we? And now here we are doing systems of equations. So right there would be our solution. And then we're just going to name it as go left 2 and go up 1. So left 2 and up 1. The other one's not too dissimilar from that one. Start at 3. Slope is -1. So that's going to come down this way. The other line starts at -3. And that's a really steep slope, right? -7, so it's probably going to have an intersection way up at the top. As you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and over 1. So right about there. These will be easy questions on the final, because if the graph is given to you, then all you need to do is look where the 2 lines cross each other. So it looks like -1 on the x and +4 on the y. Almost takes longer to do it on the review than it will on the test. Okay, so if no questions, keep going. Okay, solve by substitution. Now, on a multiple choice test, that would look like, here's the system, here's 4 points that it could possibly be. So remember, if we don't have it solved for y on one of these, we have to take and choose one of them. I would go for this one right there. I would solve for that y. And by moving the 3x over to the other side, you're going to get y is -3x plus 20. Take that expression and put it into the other equation. So 8x minus 3y equals -8. This part here is this little part right here is going to be substituted with that. So -3x plus 20. We're going to have to do everything we did on the previous page, right? We're going to have to distribute, combine like terms, put things together. So 8x plus 9x minus 60 is -8. Put your 8 and 9 together, so that's 17x. Let's go ahead and add 60. Oops, 60. And that will give us, what, 52? That's not right, is it? $17 doesn't go into 52 evenly, does it? Thanks. Where did I miss it? Oh, okay. You're right. Thank you. So right there. And then that makes this positive 60, so it'll be minus 60. And so that's actually minus 68. There we go. 17 will go in there 4 times. Yes, I have my glasses, but they're for distance. They're not for little stuff. A little secret for you. On the final, if you can figure out x, there's usually only one answer that has that x. So the next part we're going to do where we find y, right? We always take it, we plug it back in. You probably already know what the answer is before you do that. So just for the sake of completeness there, if you put in -4, that would be 12 minus 20, so -8 for the y. -4, -8. The other one would be very similar to it. However, remember you can choose x or y to solve for. So I think I would go for this one because it's positive 1x. I could go for the y on the other equation, but it's negative y, and that means I'd have to flip everything to the negative. So just trying to look for what will be the least amount of steps. So 4x minus y equals 1. That's the first equation, where here's, oh, I didn't solve it. Hold on. Let me not get ahead of myself. So if we move the 2y over to the other side, it's negative 2y now. Over on the right side, it'll be positive 2y minus 5. Then that expression is going to go right here in place of the x. And that, of course, comes from there, that y. So 2y minus 5, let's distribute the 4. Eight y minus 1y would be 7y. I'm going to go ahead and add the 20 right now. And that's 21, and divide by 7. You got 3. Take that back up here to this equation. 2 times 3 minus 5 will be 1. So the x is 1 and the y is 3. So don't forget, the first number you solve for is not the first number in the point. Same as yesterday, I passed out at the end, okay? Okay, so that takes care of that. Now, if you've looked on the back side, we don't actually have to solve this on the final. All we need to do is write the equation. There's 2 equations, and choose the right answer. So it's kind of like when we did the table. The equation should just fall out of the sentence. So if you say 4 blueberry pies and 12 blackberry pies, well then x can be blueberry and y can be blackberry, and it can be 4x plus 12y, and there's your total of 200. So it equals 200. And the other equation, same way, 11 blueberry pies and 6 blackberry pies, total 199. That's 11x plus 6y equals 199. Just match the system and move on, and you're done. And there'll be 2 of them. So the other one is about a talent show. The stories really don't change. The only thing that changes really are the numbers. So you got 6 adults and 10 children. So if adults is x and children is y, that could be 6x and 10y. And there's the total of 98, so it equals 98. And then they said this one in the opposite order, but put the 100 on the end, and it's 12x and 8y. Okay? So I anticipate that'll be a pretty easy question for you. All right, the last part of this, and what will go on to the last page, is transformations and Pythagorean theorem. So 3 transformations: translation, rotation, reflection. And the questions are asked in 2 different ways. So first way, and you're just going to see, you're not going to see this until I give you the next page. But the first way is giving you this notation for how to move the figure. So I will give you graph paper because I don't want you to write on the final. But if I give you graph paper and you can make a copy, and then what you'll do on the multiple choice part is just match the points. So that notation there, it says take any point, that's what xy means, any point, and x minus 1, so move it left 1, and y plus 4, move it up 4. So left 1, up 4. So take every point and just go, like, I'm going to start here at y. I'm going to go left 1 and up 4, and that's the new point. I guess that's v, right? So that'd be v prime. Take the u left 1 and up 4. And here we go. Thank you. And that would be the u prime. And then finally for w, left 1 and up 4 takes you right here. You won't actually have to label the points for the test. What they'll do is, like, for example, on the multiple choice, part A might say, what are the coordinates of the 3 points? So v prime is at -2, 2. U is at, or u prime is at -2, 0. And w prime is at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5, -1. And then you'll have, B, C, and D will be fake ones where it's not right, blah, 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 right? So translation, reflection, rotation, in that style where you're naming the new points, and then you'll see on the last 3 like that will be a little bit different, but we can talk about that on Monday. I'm going to go ahead and stop this one now.